Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm Di.
And I'm Robin, and we're happy to be here and
Welcome to another week with us fun-loving girls.
That's it.
Anyway, so how many of you self-sabotage? Like some people don't even know that they're doing it. Because I have done it. Right here. People don't even realize that they're doing it because they never finish products sometimes. You know, it's like even if they finish a project, they self-sabotage. I can't say that word this morning, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
Self-sabotage.
Anyway, it's like a complex behavior that can stem from underlying factors. Like one of them is like fear of failure. Everybody talks of fear of failure.
Oh, yeah, because what happens is I think people are, and this is the weird thing, especially because in our line of work, you fail forward. So everybody fears failure because they fear the unknown. I can't speak this morning either. I don't know what it is. But trial and error is what's taught me everything I know. You know what I'm saying? So, but people just automatically fear it, even though they have no concrete evidence something's going to go wrong. They just automatically fear that they're going to fail.
That is true. It's like when you downplay, like all my life, I always talk about it. All my life I've been into music. And when I was younger, the life I was living, I was never made to feel like I was so special,
You're special.
And now
and I don't mean like special.
I know what you mean. But anyway, so that was just rude.
No, I was trying not to be rude.
No, really, seriously. I played music my whole life, but when I was young, as y'all know, I didn't have the greatest of guides and stuff like that. But when you can play like 5 instruments before the age of 12, I think that's pretty good.
I think it's amazing.
Thank you. But I remember being told, go away with that thing. Stop practicing down here. And it wasn't that I wasn't any good. It's that they didn't want to hear it. Nobody else in the family was into music at all, So I always thought I wasn't good enough. And so I started, the more instruments I learned, I never really got really, really, really good where, like, for instance, I played guitar, but I never learned how to play lead guitar, because it was just, I never thought I'd be good enough at it.
So you settled for doing less.
So I settled for doing less, and I just played rhythm guitar. But I got good enough that I could write songs and I could play in a band, but I never went as far as I could. So to me, looking back, I self-sabotaged myself.
Oh, I would definitely say so.
Yeah, like it's just, you don't even see it coming. You're just doing it without even thinking about it. We don't all sit around going, let me self-sabotage.
No, it really truly is one of those things that you look back and go, oh, wow, maybe, the common denominator is me, because I can't even tell you how many times I did this. I'm a procrastinator.
Oh, my goodness.
I really am. And it's sad. I always get the job done. Do not misunderstand me. I always get the job done. But it's almost like if I had to really analyze myself, it's almost as if I work better under pressure. So, or either maybe I'm just used to the anxiety of the pressure. So if I put it off to the very end, then I'm rushing to get it done. I don't know. It's crazy.
It is, but it is a form of self-sabotage. Yeah. And we're exactly opposite on that. If I have something to do, I want to get it done so I know it's done. It's going to be good. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. She will wait. She'll like binge watch television shows. And I'm like, Robin, we really got to get this done.
Well, now, do not misunderstand me. I don't have a whole lot of time to watch TV. So, the one day of the month that I take off, I sit and do nothing. But at that point, I think it's because I self-sabotage. I think it's because I'm burnt out by that point.
Yeah, it could be. There's a thing called burnout, and that's a whole nother subject, but it is included in self-sabotaging. So we also know that low self-esteem, which I kind of hit upon a few minutes ago, low self-esteem can cause you to sabotage yourself, where you doubt your worth, like that's what I was doing. I say like a lot. I keep saying
You do.
But anyway, so even in a relationship, or being in a crowd of people, if you have a fear of rejection, then you're going to avoid like social gatherings. Believe it or not, you guys would not know this about me. I'm going to confess something here.
We avoid them at all costs.
No, we like going to events. Events are great. I love events because you learn so much. But that's when you're sitting there with a notebook taking all the great notes and everything else.
You're getting to meet people.
But I have a thing about social gatherings. I get extremely shy. And you would never know that about me because I talk and talk and talk on here. But in a crowd of people, I tend to like kind of go off in a corner. And I don't do it as much as I used to, but man, I had a real hard problem with that. And it was like the fear of rejection or not knowing what to talk about. So at gatherings, I would self-sabotage myself from meeting. Maybe I could have met somebody really into a business that I loved, but I self-sabotaged before I even did it because I just was so afraid of any kind of rejection at all.
And we've got 2 events coming up this real close. And so Di's going to go out there and just be that social butterfly.
Well, this is really true. I used to be on stage. Now, I'm more comfortable on stage than I am off stage because that's my space. I've been on stage ever since I'm a kid, and that's where I'm comfortable.
And a lot of people are like that. The more people that we meet and that are, speakers or, they speak in front of live audiences and stuff, say the same thing. It's interesting how many people are that way. I forgot to say good morning to Rainey.
Oh, good morning, Rainey. I didn't even see you sneak on there. But yeah, so on stage I'm great. Off stage in a gathering, I'm like, but I'm much better than I used to be. But it is a problem, and you do self-sabotage that's why I said you don't even see it sneaking up on you. It kind of creeps in there. You let all your self-esteem issues or your, I'm afraid they're not going to like me, and all this stuff creep into your mind, and we don't realize that it's happening.
Yes, and I am really, really bad at this because you think you're doing the right thing, but I am a perfectionist.
Oh, yeah.
I am. And I thought about it. And since we brought up this topic, and I kept thinking, because I've always known I was a perfectionist, but then I had to ask myself, why? I mean, when it comes to creativeness, like, you see our Live in 5, our Bitmoji, stuff like that. That I'm extremely perfectionist about because it's like a creative talent. I'm a creative person. But in everything I do, I'm a perfectionist. And I don't know why, because you never get the job done when you do that. I mean, I could spend now it doesn't take me that long, but I mean, I could spend 5 hours on one of these Bitmoji thumbnails that we do.
She doesn't do that anymore.
I don't do it anymore, but I mean, I'm just saying that I could be finding every little detail that's wrong to prevent actually getting the job done.
Yeah,
fearing somebody might not like it.
I'm going to tell you, she used to. Not now, but she used to, like, if she had something to do, like make a website for somebody or even for ourselves, she could sit there for 12 hours. And I'm like, Robin, and she's very, very, very creative, but there comes a point where you just have to say, it's fine. It looks great. But she would go back and find like a finger on her emoji and is in the wrong place. And I'm like, my God, you're such a perfectionist. And we had this really long talk about it one day. And I think the creative, she's a writer, she creates things, and it's just, she wants it to be perfect so that y'all can like it, you know? Or when she writes, she wants y'all to like her writing. You know, I do the same thing, but our writings are different. Like, everything I do comes in song. Like, I want to put it in a song where she wants to use, you know, all these big words. So we tried to write together one time. Did not go over so well, but it was fun. And we're both very creative people. But she is a perfectionist, and God bless her.
Bless my own heart.
I said that like there was something wrong with you, but there's not. She's just.
But it is a downfall. I mean, you don't realize it, but being a perfectionist can be, and sometimes you just got to get the job done and not worry about the little things.
Well, that's what I was saying. If y'all know somebody that's a perfectionist, or you think you might be a perfectionist, where you know you have a project but you never get it done because you're trying to make it perfect. Nothing's perfect.
No, but it is a thing, because it's like walking down a hallway and the picture frames being just slightly.
That's OCD, Robin.
But I'm not. But I'm saying that's the way when I create something that I feel like it is if I see it, you know?
Yeah, but all I'm saying is, if you find, I understand what you're saying, but if you find yourself like not getting the job done because you're trying to make it too good, too perfect, like, kind of move on. Because if you're doing it for a project at your job, somebody else is going to get
There's a deadline.
kind of, what?
You have deadlines. You got to get
Yeah, you got to make the deadlines. And if you don't, you're going to end up losing your job rather than impressing your boss with your fabulous work. You know what I'm saying? So if you realize that you're a perfectionist, try and figure out how not to be so perfect all the time.
I don't think it's affecting me there. I made 7 years the other day.
Yes, you did. Congratulations.
7 years. It's hard to believe we've been here that long.
Yeah. And so then you have like where you feel like a fraud at your own, whatever you're doing, right?
And
where
it's that imposter syndrome.
Now, sometimes I do that. Like, if I achieve something really good, you know, it's I think it's great achievement for myself. But if other people start going, oh my God, you did such a good job. You know, I'd be on the Academy Awards stage or something going, no, it was just luck. You know? I didn't really do anything. I was in the right place at the right time. Like, I wouldn't really accept my achievement.
She does it all the time, and people don't realize this. She puts a lot into Di and Robin, our brand, and our content and the stuff that we do. She talks to everybody on social media. I don't do all of that, you know. So she's the one that's actually talking to y'all through all of our social media channels. And when we make major accomplishments or hit milestones or whatever, she's always like, well, Robin does all of that. Well, that's because of Rob. She really downplays the role that she plays in this business, which is really a lot.
Even when you just said that, I was going to say, well, you do.
No, it's just that, I mean, you can, you know, you see mine because they come up every day for the little Bitmoji things. But I mean, she's on the phone talking to people all day long. I mean, she's reaching out and helping people. So
yeah, I do my job.
You do. But she is one of those people that will say, oh no, it was Robin. She did this, she did that. You know, I guess she doesn't like the attention, maybe, I guess. I don't know.
No, and it's funny too, because of that whole stage thing. I loved playing in a band. And even if I arranged all the harmonies or something in some of the songs we did and stuff, you know, the lead singer, no matter what you do in the background of that song, the lead singer would always take the compliments, recognition. But in certain bands that I was in, I didn't realize that there was a narcissist amongst us that wanted all the attention, and one of the people who told me I shouldn't sing at all. And believe it or not, that took a long time to get over. Because
You actually have a beautiful voice.
Thank you. But that took a long time to get over because of people like that who would say something just to boost themselves, you know. So there's a lot of issues that can cause you throughout your life to self-sabotage all the things that you do that you're good at, you know. And it's people like that that are always seeking reassurance. So that's why there's a fine line between narcissism and it affects you, where you might be a self-sabotager because of the narcissists in your life that you grew up with or that you're around. So it's a fine line.
Well, it's because, you know, and this is a very odd thing. This is an odd fact, but we went back over all of the videos, all the lives that we've done. And oddly enough, on all of our social media channels, the video that got the most views, got the, you know, most attention was attracting narcissists. And, you know,
we're just vulnerable.
Well, we were. I don't know so much now.
No, I can see him coming a mile away.
But so unfortunately, being around narcissistic people can cause a lot of the self-doubt, the negative talk, the low self-esteem. I mean, it can cause a lot of these behaviors that help, you know, allow you to self-sabotage. What is wrong with me this morning? So, I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we should probably do a
whole show on that.
Another narcissistic thing, you know, really diving deep about it.
In all honesty, we get the most questions about narcissism. You know, like she said, that was one of our biggest views. And so obviously there's other people out there that are involved with narcissists.
We should create a support group.
We should, but we're not professional therapists at all.
No, we're not. But it would be fun just to hang out with like-minded people.
But the self-sabotage is, I was just going to add that you get a reluctance to speak up when you should. Like if somebody's making you feel less than, you need to speak up, because otherwise you're going to fall into that category where you don't say anything at all, and you can self-sabotage.
And here's the thing, and it's not just, you know, like in individual relationships. It's like, you know, on the job, people on the jobs. Now, not to toot my own horn here, but I mean, I've won quite a few awards doing the job that I do. And so I know that I have self-worth. You know what I'm saying?
You have
no, I mean, I know what my self-worth is. But, you know, there's been times in my life of employment where I probably would not have stood up and said, hey, you're doing this wrong.
Yeah.
No, it's not a good idea, because the people wouldn't listen to me.
No.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's more people in the room who have maybe bigger egos. I mean, I don't know. But I have had experiences in my life where that has been the case, where I would not stand up and say something, even though I knew I was right.
Yeah.
You know, because I knew that it wouldn't be taken.
Isn't that fear of rejection, though, too?
It might be. I mean, I guess it might be, yeah. I mean,
but
I have a lot of self-worth, so, you know, I understand. I don't usually speak unless I know I'm correct.
Right. That is true. She is a fact checker, like, honest to God. You know, we talk on here like, you know, we talk like we know what we're talking about sometimes, but we do fact check. And that's why I laugh a lot when we say we're not marriage counselors, we're not therapists, we're not financial advisors, but we do most of the time fact check if we're going to talk about something. So all the stuff we're talking about today, we have fact check.
We have experienced a lot of it too.
And yes, we have. It took me a long time to gather up self-worth. And that is because of my upbringing and the things that you go through in life. So yes, that does have a major role in your life sometimes. And like I said, sabotaging comes from inside. Most people, I don't really believe that they know that they're self-sabotaging. Like, they could get into a relationship and actually I used to do this when I was younger. I would get into a relationship and I knew it was just going to fall apart. So I'd start doing things to maybe get out of it before I even
a lot of people
got into it, because I knew the other person was going to hurt me at some point.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. They get so used to getting hurt. They get so used to, having downfalls and abandonment issues, or people rejecting them, that they self-sabotage every relationship they have, only to end up in therapy later on, 10 years down the road, going, I'm the common denominator in all of these relationships.
Well, I do that with the narcissist people. I said, oh, I am the common denominator. So I used to go, why am I attracting? And that's why we did the show on them, because it was me who was vulnerable enough to allow them to do that, but no more.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. But it does happen, and you don't even realize that it's happening to you. So pay attention to that. If you're the common denominator, Well,
we're not talking about narcissists today, although it's a very big part of why you
would become a self-sabotager.
Would become a self-sabotager, because you don't believe in yourself. You have nothing but doubt about all the things that you might do. So you try and end them before it even gets going. You never think you're good enough on any project. You never think you're good enough in a relationship. And that does have so much to do with how you were raised. And it doesn't just have to be narcissism. It can be anything. You could have been raised by I hate to say this, but like a drug addict or a alcoholic who have certain behaviors of their own and force them onto you. And then how are you supposed to, do that if you have?
Well, it's true, because we go through these issues of generations, and drugs and alcohol is a good one to use as an example, because it is a thing that passes down from generation to generation, and until somebody breaks that chain.
Well, even if you're not an alcoholic, you can have alcoholic behaviors,
right?
Because that's how you were raised.
The behaviors pass down, and so because you get used to that, so it's very important to understand that you are worthy. You can have self-worth. Just because somebody else dislikes you or disagrees with you or whatever the case does not define you. Your experiences of circumstances and bad luck, or past traumas, do not define you.
Yeah.
As the person you are. And so I think it's very important that people understand they can rise above those things.
Yeah, I know that there's people, like I've seen people where, because they don't really think that they're good enough, they constantly run around asking people, what do you think about this? Like, they can't make decisions on their own because they have to have the reassurance that it's good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always depend on somebody else to say, oh, that's good enough. You should put that in there. Or they just not sure of themselves. You look like you're disagreeing, and I'd like
No, I was just thinking I might be one of those people, because I just created our new website and I asked like 15 people what they thought of
it. So you just discovered you might be that person.
You might be a redneck.
Like, you might be a redneck. But you yourself, I'm talking about, shouldn't really think that, because you are extremely talented, unless you're one of those people who just need accolades all the time.
No, I'm not one of those people.
She's not. I'm just.
But I think it's just the perfectionism in me. So for all of you out there who are listening, go to DianeRobin.vip and let me know what you think.
Yeah, definitely. Go look at our website. I think she did a really, really, really good job on it. But I have this problem where it's kind of self-sabotaging, because I compare myself to others. Not so much anymore. Like, I I have gone
You see
through
the
it.
signs.
You haven't seen
There
the
were
show?
signs.
There were signs. But I will compare myself to others. But now I've learned how to take care of that, because if I thought somebody always did a better job than me, as I was growing up, I would back off, and just let them take all the accolades and all the praise, and I would just stand in the background, even if I was the one who put most of it together. I would let someone else take, the praise for that. But I compared myself to people like that, like I'm always comparing myself, or not now. I have to rephrase that.
Yeah, you
I don't do it now. Now I make a friendly competition out of everything.
Right, and that's an important thing to say, because you did turn that around.
I did,
and you did do that, which is really kind of amazing, because when I first met Di, she had this narcissist in the group with her, and so seriously, and so they would sing together, and Di would always step back in the background, and like let this narcissist take all of the praise. And truth be told, Di has a very amazing voice. And and I really enjoy listening to it. I mean, I've got CDs and everything. So, but she's really good. But she would always step in the background and never, like, it was like, let this narcissist take it. Which, the narcissist was all like, hey, here I am. You know what I'm saying?
Look at me.
Look at me. So Di let her. And I understand that in one sense, because I'm the same way. It's like, hey, if you've got to beg for that much attention, you obviously need it more than I do.
Yeah.
So I understand that in one sense. But she did, over the years, switch her thinking, that she does literally make friendly competitions out of stuff instead of taking it the negative way.
Yeah, like even now.
Yeah, it was really amazing. She did that all on her own.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
But I had to. It wasn't working the other way. So now I'm just like, if somebody's getting like, in marketing, sometimes you have to get other people to join to be able to make more money. Not
necessarily like that.
Not always.
Not necessarily
not
like that.
A pyramid.
No.
I promise you.
No. But you do want to help other people, and so
Yes.
you do want to share the opportunity with as many people as you can. But like, for example, we have a savings platform, so we're saving lots of money right now.
Yeah,
so the thing about it is you want to share that opportunity with everybody. But if Joe Blow over here is in the same opportunity and he's sharing it to 100 people, Di now looks at it like,
oh, I got to catch up.
I'm not reaching enough people to share this opportunity with. But now I also go to the other person. I say, what are you doing, to do this? I will go to that person and ask them, because otherwise you're going to sit in the background going, I don't understand why all these people are doing so good. I don't understand why I can't. And as soon as you say can't, it's done. So, when you don't understand why someone else is doing good, don't just back off or quit or whatever it is that you're doing. Don't do that. Like, stick to your guns. If they can make it, so can you. Right? You can do anything that you put your mind to. So never back off. Go to the person and ask what they're doing no matter what you're doing for a living, right? Just go to the person and ask, what are you doing differently? And learn from it, rather than go, or crawl into a corner and go, I'm never going to be able to do this, because it doesn't matter what you're doing for a living. Do it the best that you can. And if you don't think you're good enough at it, go to somebody who you see that they're doing really, really well, and ask them and get some, nothing is better than knowledge. Nothing. So if they're doing good, you can do good too. Everybody starts at zero, no matter what you're doing. Nobody comes into life knowing this job or that job or whatever. You just got to do it, and you got to keep going no matter what. You got to have determination.
Yeah. Discipline yourself. Have determination, because again, this is about self-sabotage. If you don't do those things, you're going to keep for the rest of your life sabotaging yourself. and either letting somebody else get all the praise or letting somebody else go way above you. You know, I've trained people in my life that all of a sudden started ranking much higher in our jobs, and I'm the one that trained them, so I knew I could do it. But there was I letting them take all the praise and sitting back saying nothing. So what happened there? They made lots more money than I did.
Yeah.
So I self-sabotaged myself in my own job.
Yeah.
So it does happen. But
and it happens before you even realize it. So sit back today and think, have I self-sabotaged myself?
yeah, you don't realize it, but check yourself out sometimes. And I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. We all have the same perpetual habits, and we need to overcome that. If you have to watch videos on how to stop self-sabotaging, do that. But definitely look into it, because we all do it. Well, a lot of us do it.
Or have done it at some point in time.
I didn't fact check how many people self-sabotage, because I just didn't.
Because I don't think a lot of people would admit
No.
that they do it. I mean, I can admit that I've done it.
I'm admitting it wholeheartedly, raising my hand. I was a self-sabotager, not so much anymore. But if you find yourself self-sabotaging, reach out, figure out how to change that, and don't become this small in a crowd. I've done it. Don't
stand up and let your light shine.
Let your light shine. That's good. I like it. So that's all we have.
I do want to say one thing before we go.
Sorry.
You know,
about Florida?
Yes, our thoughts and prayers are with all of the people in the path of this hurricane.
Yeah, we have a lot of friends down there.
Friends and family.
We are praying for all of them.
Yes, we are.
Stay safe.
Stay
Don't
safe.
be stubborn.
That's it. And let us know that you're safe and sound. So that being said,
go out. I always say, be kind to as many people as you can.
Yeah. All
right. Even if they're not kind to you, make yourself feel better by being kind to them.
Yeah, we'll do that show one day, because that is a show. But
we love you guys for stopping by.
Yes, and please stop by our website, check it out, let us know what you think. It's DieandRobin.vip.
All right. Take care, y'all. Thank you again for coming. Bye bye.